Hey guys, I'm back with another process video today, and I am using my summer themed kit again. So I was inspired for this one by the what are they called? Border strip stickers on the on some of the sticker sheets that I have in my kit. The one is Summer Lovin' by Cartabella, and the other one is Sunshine and Happiness by Simple Stories. So I wanted to create this this background of strips of stickers and papers and such. So I'm going to, this is a stupid thing I did so I put removable tape on the back of the sticker border strips so I could move them around easier, but that was not working, so I'm gonna get rid of that pretty soon. So that's what you can see there. So I wanted to do some mixed media that was gonna peek through the strips of the strips. So I'm starting with putting on some gesso with my palette knife, and while that dries, I'm going to go through and pick out some papers that I might want to use on the layout. And this is my new container that I bought. It's just, I think it's called the desk organizers from IKEA, and I'm using it to store my kit for the time being, and then I'll probably be using it either for newer things that come into my room, which is not all that often, so that probably won't work out, or just kits I'm using or a product I'm going to use or something. But anyway, so I have a bunch of different papers. Most of them are from the Simple Stories Sunshine and Happiness. But yeah, and now that the dress is dry, I'm going to come back with some colors, some distressing. So I'm starting with Abandoned Coral because I have that corally paper from Cartabella that I thought I was going to use, but I'm not. But I do really like the combination of Abandoned Coral with Picked Raspberry when they kind of intermix, so that worked out fine anyway, even though I did not use that coral paper. So this is the Picked Raspberry Distress Ink, and I have mini Distress Inks here for the time being, but they're the same thing as the big ones. But anyway, so I'm just doing the packaging technique on the top and just kind of trying to add the same colors in different places, so there's like a mix of color everywhere. And then I'm using Mustard Seed to add some yellow, and then for the blue I'm using Mermaid Lagoon, I think. No, yikes, I think it's Peacock Feathers actually, and I'm also going to use a bit of Cracked Pistachio, which is a greenish color, but it's going to mix with the blue, and it's going to be a nice bluish green kind of thing going on. So I know this looks really messy, but you're barely going to be able to see it once I put a gazillion strips over it. So I might have gone a bit overboard with the strips, to be honest. But anyway, so I wanted to make sure I use these 3 strips because I think that the Summer Lovin' collection would be a bit harder for me to use on its own. So I thought I really wanted to use those strips while they were in the kit, and I could combine them with other things easier. So then I just pull a bunch of random papers, not random. So I have that watermelon paper, that's from the Photo Play collection that I have in my kit. I do not remember the name of it. It's Sunshine something, I think. I don't know. I did mention the name of it in the share of my kit, so yeah. So then I decided that this is it's too irritating to move these strips over and over. I'm just gonna start gluing things down with a my Zig Writer 2-way glue pen, I think is what it's called. That once something's glued down, it's pretty easy to pick up. So I'm just gonna glue things down, and if I want to move something around, I'll just easily pick the paper. At least I can easily move the paper around. So there's that coral paper I was talking about, but it's not, I don't know, it didn't really match. So I'm trying to distance the stickers from each other, so I'm trying to spread the stickers and papers evenly so there aren't just stickers on one side, for example, and just stickers on the back side. So here, I originally wanted to use the popsicle paper, but then I flipped it over to add glue, and I just really liked how the stripe paper looked on the back. So I am going to cut another piece of that in just a bit to use a popsicle side too. Then I'm going to stick down this gorgeous floral. I love that floral so much. And then this blue thing here is actually just the excess sticker of that chevron blue piece there. So I just stuck it down there just like an extra little thing. Now this one is from the Sunshine and Happiness collection, and I know you can't see it because of course I did not place my layout correctly, but the tops and bottoms of all the strips are not aligned. So that's where I wanted to glue down that popsicle piece, But then again, I turned it over and I loved the stripes on the back, so I glued down it. I used a striped side. But then the scrap pieces that I cut off from the bottom of those, because I didn't want full 12 by 12 strips, I'm gonna replace that coral paper with that popsicle piece. So that worked out in the end. And now I'm just gonna add a few, because I trimmed all of these papers down, I have some extra scraps and I'm just gonna incorporate them on various places of the layout. So for example, I added that blue chevron over to the right to bring in a bit of that blue, and then I'm gonna add a tiny, so originally I put that there to bring in some pink in that area, but I don't know, I didn't like it. So this one is another border strip from the Hello Sunshine collection. Yeah, so I think I could have used a couple fewer. That does not make sense. I could have used, maybe gotten rid of a few of these strips here. I might have been better with a few less strips, but anyway. So I moved that border strip, the pink one, over to the side to bring a bit more pink over there. And now because the background is really busy, I have to make my photo stand out a bit more. So first thing I did was ink the edges with some black ink, and I just used the black tie color by Ranger. And then I also matted it on a white piece of paper with that notebook on the side. I use that all the time lately. And then so you have the black and white, has a lot of contrast. It just makes the photo pop. And then I wanted to kind of tone down the patterns a bit, but I didn't want to use gesso or anything on them. Well, at least I didn't for the time being. So first thing I did was kind of make a frame around my photo with some washi tape, which also helps it pop a bit. And that's some of my all-time favorite washi tape. I use it all the time. It's from Scotch, and I think I just got it at Target. So before I went through my 12 by 12 papers to layer things in behind my photo, I just went through 6 by 6 and scrap pieces, because I might as well use those before I cut into another 12 by 12 paper. So again, just to draw attention to the photo, I use that black piece because it's just really bold compared to the light airy colors on the rest of the layout. And then I also used that camera piece because it had all the colors that I'm using, and I just liked it there. Those papers are both from Dear Lizzie Happy Place. And then I just finished off the frame, the washi tape frame. And now I wanted to create a cluster on the left of the photo, but I wanted a really big icon that would cover stuff but not a lot of words. So I'm going through Project Life cards first, and then I'm going to go through die cuts. It's just going to be a big mess. So first I went through the Project Life cards, mostly to begin with, mostly to just see if there's anything else that I can map my photo with. And I find this orange one that just brings in the orange from that striped paper on the back. And I'm just going to, it's a 4x4, and I'm just going to layer it there. And then for that icon that I was mentioning, I'm going to cut out this lemonade drink thing. It is quite large, but that's what I wanted. And it's a light blue, so it doesn't like really stand out, but it covers a bit more of the pattern, and it's a nice embellishment cluster starter, I guess. That's what maybe you should call it. I don't know. Anyway, so now I'm going through the die cuts to just find a couple more things to layer over there. And I'm gonna pick out a couple of different things here in just a second. Well, maybe not yet, but I will later. Yeah, sometimes I just go through everything and not find anything, and then once I've gone through everything and have not found anything, I just go through everything one more time. I use everything too many times there, I hope, but I just said makes sense. And I wanted to add a tag or like a Project Life card, like a journaling card or something behind that lemonade piece, just because, I don't know, just something to ground it a bit. So I went through the Perfectly Imperfect Project Life cards this time around, and I pulled that one out that says need a vacation, and it's gonna get covered up, so I didn't really care what it said. But that blue, I really liked the grid paper, the fact that it was a grid, whatever, but the blue was not working whatsoever. It clashed with the black too much, so I thought about getting rid of the black, but then I just decided to get rid of that card here in just a bit. And I'm going to replace it with this piece. That's a die cut piece from Dear Lizzie Happy Place collection, and that just had the blue and the pink, and it kind of grounded the little that cut apart there. And then I'm also going to add some more die cuts. So I'm going to add that acetate piece that says Summer Loving over to the top, and then I'm also going to bring that floral piece there. and then it just makes a couple more clusters. So because I added that stuff up there, I kind of wished I had glued down the photo a bit more to the left, but it's okay. So it will be a bit more centered, but it works out fine. So anyway, I also added that orange to bring in a bit more orange over to the right cluster. And now I left the layout alone for a bit, and then I came back. That's why the lighting changed there a bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue things down. And well, the reason I didn't scoot that whole cluster over basically was because I had placed the washi tape and I was not in the mood to pick it up so to move the washi tape, so I just left it there. And that's okay, it's not too bad. It's fine. So then I am going to end up adding some gesso, but I'm going to use my finger in order to apply a very, very light coat. So the patterns don't get covered up and you can still see them pretty easily, but there's also just a bit of paint on top to kind of tone them down in the slightest. I mean, you can barely even tell. It makes a very small difference, but I thought I needed that very small difference just to help the photo pop a bit more and the embellishments pop a bit more. So there's that. Added more gesso, and I do really like how this turned out. It's really... Oh, sorry, the voiceover got cut off there a bit. My sisters barged into my room and I had to stop the voiceover. So here the lighting changed once again because I left the layout again and returned. I don't know why this layout took so long to make, but anyway. Well, if you add up the times I worked on it, it wasn't too long, but I just worked on it in spurts for some reason. I don't know. It was busy while I was doing it. So anyway, that was too much information. So now I want to find something to put through the tag there. So I'm just going to use this black twine. I think that came in the tags and labels set from a Fancy Pants from the Hello Sunshine collection. I think that's what it's called. It was the summer collection that came out last year. I'm not sure if that's the name. I can't look it up for you right now, but I think that's the name. And yeah, apparently, okay, I think it was Hello Sunshine. Anyway, not important because it's just a piece of twine. And I'm going to add that in later once I glue down my tag. I'm just keeping that in mind. So now I'm going through the sticker sheet. I'm going to add a yellow tab up at the top, and then I'm also going to add this sticker here because it was yellow, and I felt like I needed something to break the pink up there because I have that pink acetate, and then I also have the pink in the flowers that's pretty dominant. So I'm going to add that ticket thing over there. And then from the Summer Loving sticker sheet, I found this that said Lazy Day because this picture was actually, it was my sister and my grandma sitting on the porch while I think it was probably my mom mowing the lawn in the background. So I thought like Lazy Day would be okay, a good thing to use there. You can't really see my mom from the video, but when you look at the picture closely, you can see her in the background. Anyway, so I'm going to create a third little cluster up at the top there in just a second. And now these are the word phrases that were on the Hello Sunshine sticker sheet. And no, not Hello Sunshine, sorry. The Simple Stories collection that's called Sunshine and Happiness. And I'm going to add one to each cluster, I think. Well, I'm adding one to the top cluster and one to the cluster next to the photo on the right. Yeah, and then I'm also going to add an orange one over to the third cluster. And then I thought about using those brads, but they just felt a bit too much, so I don't think I'm going to end up using them. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to use, instead of those brads, I'm going to use a couple of these. These are from the Me and My Big Ideas, and they're meant for the Happy Planner, but I don't decorate planners. I barely able to keep up with them, just scheduling wise, so I'm just using it for scrapbooking because I thought they were really cute. But I'm just going to end up adding one down there next to down in the cluster with the orange. And then I found these enamel dots were not included in the kit, but I found them. I'm trying to use them up, but the colors didn't work anyway, so I'm not going to use them. So now here I'm adding in that twine that I was talking about, and I'm going to glue down the final little bits and pieces. Yeah, so while I'm doing that, I just like to mention that in case you haven't heard, I probably won't be adding pictures to the end of my videos anymore. So if you're interested in pictures, I will post pictures over on Instagram. It's just because it helps, it speeds up the video making process, and yeah, it's just easier for me to make videos that way. And I wanted to add a title because I wanted to bring in different textures, so either like a foam alpha or a chipboard alpha or something. So I'm just gonna spell out the like simple title that's not at all original. I'm just gonna spell out the word cute, and these are exclusive HipKit letters, and that looks cute up there actually. Now that I think of it, like I look at it differently. But at the moment, I probably thought that there was too much pink up there. But I'm gonna end up adding it at the bottom of the cluster. So that's gonna complete the layout. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to check back in tomorrow for another video.